Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today you're looking at my woolly lamb's ear. And I did do a video on this last summer, but for several reasons I wanted to redo it. And one of them being that I just want to get the information out there fresh to make sure everybody sees this. Now, I'm going to insert a picture right here of how the flower looks when it is in bloom. And that was from last year. And I was gonna wait until it was actually flowering, but I have a lot of herb videos I need to focus on this year, this summer, and I want to get them all in instead of just 3 or 4 like I did last summer. So I thought I'd get started now. Now this plant has many medicinal uses. Now, one of the reasons I started growing it, the number one reason, was its absorbent properties and how it can be used as an antibacterial bandage or even toilet paper in a pinch. And I admit I tried it because I wanted to say I did, and it works great. Yeah, it's very absorbent. Now this is just a medium-sized leaf. These can actually get quite big. This is still a young plant right now. You know, it's got a lot of growth to do over the summer, and this will spread and get very big. I used to have like 6 of these plants, but I dug several of them up because they were just taking over quite a bit. And I even took this one that I left in the main garden. I cut back quite a bit. But there was like 3 other plants just along this side, and I just left this one here, and then I have 2 more out front. Anyway, so you can use this just as is, as an antibacterial bandage. You just want to bruise the leaves a little bit, squeeze that juice out of there some, and then wrap it on the affected area. When I've used it before, instead of crushing it, I just picked the leaf off like this and took some plantain and or yarrow and just chewed it up and stuck it in there with maybe even a little bit of aloe vera from my aloe vera plants, and then put it on the burn, the cut, the scrape, and then just wrapped a little piece of gauze around it to hold it in place, and it worked really good. So you don't need to buy store-bought bandages if you grow woolly lamb's ear, and it grows very easy. It's a little tiny black seed. I started this from seed I got from Baker Creek, and I'll put a link down below where you can find that seed. But anyway, it is very, very easy to get started, and once you've got it, you'll have it forever because it'll keep reseeding. I've got it growing wild in a lot of places where it just reseeded itself, and so it's just another one of those things. This one thing I found about medicinal herbs is most of them are very easy to grow and will take over if you're not careful. However, here's another thing. I like to use these like to put around the base of plants to help hold the moisture in the soil and just kind of feed more nutrients into the ground. Now, the woolly lamb's ear has more uses than just external, and I'll go over that in a minute. I'm going to go show you my plants out front. And by the way, this is the yarrow right here, and I'll be talking about that in another video. All right, so here is another one of my plants. This one's much bigger, and I really like this angle better because they get a lot more. There's a lot more sun right here, and I just think it's a beautiful plant. I love just how it has this nice kind of silvery green color, just another different shade of green to add to the garden. And then it will get the purple flowers on it and add even more beauty. Now, aside from using this for, cuts, scrapes, burns, you can also use it for bug bites and bee stings. And though I've never tried it for a bug bite or a bee sting, I've used plantain for that, and it works amazingly well. But next time I get a sting, if it happens, which I'm sure will happen at some point, I will try this by itself and see how well that works. I'm going to probably chew it up like I would the plantain. But anyway, the woolly lamb's ear also has internal uses, as I was saying, and you can make a tea out of it, and it's good for treating fevers, diarrhea. It's supposed to be very good for helping strengthen the liver and the heart. So, any liver or heart diseases you have, drinking this as a tea should help with that. It's also good for soothing sore throats and helping with internal bleeding, if you can imagine that. So, woolly lamb's ear I highly recommend you grow this in your garden, even if it's just for the sake of its beauty. Kids love the feel of this. I mean, it's just, I do. I mean, it's hard for me just not to want to keep petting it because it's just so very soft. It's very gentle and easy on the skin. So if you do have to use it as a bandage or as toilet paper in a pinch, it's very comfortable. And it's totally biodegradable. Imagine that. By the way, I'm very happy to finally have some red clover growing in my garden wild. I didn't plant it there. I knew it would show up someday. Anyway, we'll get into that in another video too. Anyway, so here is my third remaining woolly lamb's ear that I have not dug up. I'm going to leave this one for now. Obviously, it's kind of got a lot of other stuff growing amongst it, like the orange mint, which I may pull up someday. I don't know. I love the smell of it, and right now it's just kind of taken over, but it's just, I think it's a pretty plant, and it's, you know, and it just smells wonderful. But I highly recommend you grow the woolly lamb's ear. Give it a try. If nothing else, it does make a beautiful addition to the garden. And, but like I said, my main reason for growing it was for the sake of using it as bandages, and then if we ever had to, we know we have some kind of toilet paper option if we ever run out of toilet paper or whatever, you know, that's completely biodegradable. So there's my third plant. You should have seen the other ones I had. They were this is my smallest one right here. The other ones were way bigger than that, and they were just taking up way too much room in my garden, so I had to pull them up. So just keep in mind, it will kind of spread and take over, but as long as your ground is loose, your soil is pretty loose, it pulls up pretty easy. It just gets very heavy because it's so very absorbent. So keep that in mind, and just think how much money you can save on bandages and other things if you just have this and you know what it is and you know where it came from. Some of those bandages that you buy at the store, you don't know what all is in that stuff. One thing I almost forgot to say is that yes, woolly lamb's ear is edible. It has a pleasant taste, but I don't know how to describe it. However, it's really not fun to eat because remember how I said the leaves, they feel like velvet? Well, it kind of, when you go to chew on it, it's kind of like chewing on velvet. Now last year I did try dehydrating some and adding it to my mixed greens, and it was so-so. The texture still was very odd. And so I won't do that again. But, you know, hey, give it a try. I mean, it is edible. It's full of lots of good nutrients. It is very healthy for you. But if you don't like chewing on velvet, you may not enjoy chewing on woolly lamb's ear. Hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.